and welcome to the program. This edition of Newsroom series covering Nigeria's Northeast. I am Bukola Koka. First, the top stories. Voting has commenced in Emoha local government area of River State in line with the scheduled local government elections taking place in all 23 local government areas of the state. Voting commenced in Unit 3025, Ward 4, Ungweto community in the local government area before 9 a.m. as in other parts of the state. The process was also ongoing in Akwa local government area, where the caretaker chairman and candidate of the APP joined other voters to cast his vote. Elsewhere in Unit 14 and 15, accreditation and voting went on as planned, with the caretaker committee chairman of Port Harcourt local government area and chairmanship candidate of the APP also voting. Earlier, the secretariat of the Tony Okocha-led APC faction in River State suffered an explosion. The facility, which is located on Aba Road, bears physical damage from the explosion. When our correspondent visited the scene, the gate was destroyed, security buildings showing physical scorch marks from the explosion, and even adjoining buildings had their glass windows shattered. One of the All Progressives Congress chieftain in River State, Mr. Tony Okocha, says at about 3:20 a.m., some gun-toting young men with their explosives came to the secretariat and dropped their IED in a bid to destroy the state APC secretariat. Away from River State now, but staying with local government polls, voters have gone to the polls to vote to elect chairmen and councillors to take charge of affairs for the next 3 years in the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. Voting was delayed in most polling units as a result of the early morning showers, which affected human and vehicular movement in the early hours of the day. Although most polling units in Uyo, the state capital, witnessed large turnout of voters as early as 8 a.m., accreditation and voting did not commence until about 9 a.m., while other units had to wait a little longer to commence at about 10 a.m. At Etim Ekwo Ward 1 in Etim Ekwo local government area in Korekbene senatorial district, accreditation and voting commenced at about 10 a.m. The unit recorded high turnout of voters. The exercise has been generally adjudged peaceful in all areas visited. Borno State has recorded 451 cases of suspected cholera across 5 local government areas. The State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Professor Baba Gana, confirmed the figure at a media briefing in Maiduguri, the state capital. Professor Gana says the outbreak is as a result of the flood disaster that ravaged the state.
The flood water in parts of Maiduguri is receding, and residents of the Borno state capital are gradually returning to their normal lives. However, the impact of the flood is impacting on the health of the residents, as the state records suspected cases of cholera across 5 local government areas.
We are recording increasing number of acute watery diarrhea, which is suspicious of cholera, which is not unconnected with the flood devastation. We are recording increasing number of acute watery diarrhea, and the Minister of Health recorded 451 cases of acute watery diarrhea.
Though the state is yet to record any death from the latest outbreak, the state government is making plans to set up health facilities to manage the situation. Part of the plan includes fumigation of camps for the internally displaced persons, as well as the provision of at least 400,000 doses of vaccines.
Borno State Minister of Health received 3,000 doses, 300,000 doses of oral cholera vaccines from the Federal Ministry of Health, for which we are immensely grateful, and equally distributed these vaccines to the IDP camps and the flood-affected communities. The state is still expecting more supplies of the cholera vaccines from the Federal Ministry of Health.
This is not the end. We continue to pledge our support.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has made donations of healthcare equipment to the Borno State government to help curtail the outbreak of cholera in the state in the aftermath of the flood disaster. Apart from the WHO, other humanitarian donor agencies are collaborating with the state's Ministry of Health to address the outbreak in the state.
The Yobe State government has commenced the induction of the 3,370 newly employed staff across the 178 wards of the state for efficient service delivery. The head of the civil service, Mr. Mohammed Alhaji Hamidu, who flagged off the induction, explained that the move was aimed at equipping the workers with essential skills before they will be posted to their various departments and agencies. Governor May Malabuni had in 2023 employed over 3,000 workers to fill the gap created following the mass retirement of workers who were deployed from the old Borno state before the creation of Yobe State in 1991. In Yobe State, still, the government says it is doing all it can to encourage science and technical education in the state by building more technical colleges and sponsoring at least 652 students across 8 technical colleges in the country. The executive secretary of the Yobe State Science and Technical Board, Mr. Dauda Atiyaye, disclosed this to journalists in Damaturu, the state capital. According to him, the state pays over 200 million naira annually for tuition, registrations, examination fees, and learning material. And the Yobe State government is seeking the adoption of a top-to-bottom approach by civil society organizations ahead of the 2025 budget for inclusiveness, accountability, and transparency. The state's deputy governor, Idi Barde Gubana, who revealed this at a consultative meeting with citizens in Damaturu, the state capital, explained that the aim is to receive input from the general public in order to incorporate it into the 2025 appropriation bill.
The Deputy Governor of Yobe State, Mr. Idi Barde Gubana, along with representatives from various non-governmental organizations and civil society groups, gathered to discuss the proposed 2025 budget. The goal of this consultative meeting is to gather input and ensure that the budget is technically sound and addresses the realities on the ground.
Your participation is critical as it helps us craft a budget that is not only technically sound, but also responsive to the realities on the ground. A budget is not just about figures. It is about understanding how to turn these numbers into real-world solutions that improve livelihoods.
Your thoughts, concerns, and suggestions are essential in ensuring that our government remains transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of its people. Today's engagement is more than just a formal exercise. It is a key part of our bottom-top approach, placing citizens at the center of decision-making.
A representative from Action Aid, who is partnering with the state, explains that the meeting serves 2 purposes. One, to collect input from the communities affected by the insurgency and to gain insights from the budget.
Today's meeting serves as a dual purpose:
to gather valuable insight from you. That means people of the community from the entire Yobe State. It serves a dual purpose to gather valuable insight from you, the community, and to inform the planning process of the 2025 state budget. Your voices and experiences are crucial. By sharing your challenges, you enable the states to better understand the needs of the communities and to advocate for solutions that are not only effective but also respectful to the dignity and rights of people of Yobe State.
The Deputy Governor says the government is using a top-down approach to ensure mutual understanding between the citizens and the government.
As we are all aware, the present administration of Yobe State has always maintained an open door policy in conducting its activities, which serve as a strong basis for mutual understanding between the people and the government. This is the reason for us to find it easier to achieve our major successes in our budget formulation and implementation. The massive participation of civil society organizations, community-based organizations, and other stakeholders, including the vulnerable or underprivileged members of society, is a clear indication that our administration is carrying everyone on board towards the development of the state.
The high point of the event is the presentation of citizens' needs compiled by the Yobe State network of civil society organizations.
The Taraba state government has granted approval for a template to determine the implementation of the new national minimum wage for civil servants. The state head of service, Mr. Paul Tino, made this remark at a capacity building forum organized by the National Union of Agriculture and Allied Employees.
Members of the National Union of Agriculture and Allied Employees, NUAAE, Taraba State Chapter, gathered in Jalingo, the capital of Taraba State, to promote professionalism in the state civil service. The goal is to introduce participants to modern global bureaucratic trends to improve work culture in the state. However, the lack of implementation of the new minimum wage is seen as a major obstacle.
Actually, the challenge of the association, we will say, is everywhere in terms of money and other things. You know, if we have money, we will do better things like this. But we did based on the strength of the union, what the union have, so we have to do it small to invite them. We can even do more for our members. But since we don't have the money to do that, we decided to just use few of our members, officials, to train them.
The State Ministry of Agriculture acknowledges their struggle, but urges them to operate within the law, warning that anything beyond that may not be tolerated.
And you know, one of the reasons why people go into unionism is to protect their members, struggle for what is supposed to be for their members. Now, when your capacity is built, you should be able to know that the struggle has to be within the ambit of the law. You don't just cause confusion and say you're struggling for your members. It has to do with dialogue, discussing, pressing, and making sure that whatever belongs to your members is given to them. And you do it in a friendly manner. That is why we want to build a capacity of these union members, so that whatever they want to do, they should do it within the ambit of the law.
Governor Agbo Kefes, represented by the State Head of Service, revealed that the governor has approved a plan to determine how the new minimum wage will be implemented in Taraba State.
His Excellency has graciously granted approval for us to go ahead, because we have already constituted a technical committee and they have already finalized their work, which I'm going to submit the report to His Excellency. As soon as he okay the report, then they will start the implementation.
The state government is asking civil servants to be patient, assuring that all necessary steps for implementing the new minimum wage are being carefully considered to deliver more benefits of democracy.
Welcome back. Residents of Kwararafa Chiefdom in Gasso local government area of Taraba State are protesting alleged land grabbing, intimidation and harassment by a traditional ruler of Gasso Chiefdom. The protesters are alleging that the traditional ruler is coercing them to pay royalty on their farmlands and ponds, which they vowed to resist and seek redress. However, the secretary of the Traditional Council, Mr. Yunusa Umar, describes the allegation as baseless and untrue.
The Kwarafa Chiefdom was carved out of the Gasso Chiefdom by the previous administration of Governor Darius Ishaku in 2018 under the Taraba State Chieftaincy Amendment Law 2018. A total of 16 communities were carved out to create the chiefdom, and residents of the area are now claiming that they live in fear due to the alleged intimidation from the traditional ruler. The residents also allege that they have written to the state government to intervene, especially because of the deaths recorded in the area.
Alhaji Idris Yakubu Chiroma continue to cause the people of Kororofa Chiefdom to be paying royalties to him on both farmers' land and water pond. Even when those lands and waters pond fell under Kororofa Chiefdom.
Oh, what we want Dr. Abukefa to do for us now, we want Kororofa should be in peace. We want Kororofa should be in peace and peace.
We are pleading with the traditional ruler to facilitate the release of our leader. We are being chased at home and farmlands in attempts to arrest us for offenses we do not know. Sometimes we pay ransom for the release of our brothers and sisters kidnapped, yet they kill them at the end of the day.
However, the secretary of the Chiefdom describes the allegations as false.
The chief of Gasso has not even for once visited the disputed areas or sent anybody to act on his behalf since the creation of Kororofa Chiefdom. So how can anybody accuse him of harassing or intimidating the people of Kororofa Chiefdom?
In the meantime, the state government is calling for calm.
The government is really looking into this matter, interested in it, and also making every move to ensure that it's resolved amicably. In the meantime, government wants all the factions not to take the law into their hands and be patient enough to wait and see how government is planning is going to resolve the issue.
Nevertheless, residents of the area are hoping that the state government will resolve the issue as soon as possible to enable them return to their normal lives.
The governor of Adamawa State, Umar Fintiri, says no responsible government will allow its people perish as a result of an epidemic, insecurity, or anything that can destroy the life and property of citizens. The governor made this comment in Yola, the state capital, while flagging off an oral cholera vaccination campaign in Yola. According to the governor, this is the reason his administration has taken proactive steps by responding immediately to curtail its spread and the loss of more lives in the wake of the recent outbreak of cholera in the state.
The event at the Atiku Abubakar Health Center in Yola North Local Government Area of Adamawa State marks the launch of the oral cholera vaccination campaign. This campaign is organized by the Adamawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency in partnership with the State Ministry of Health, UNICEF, and other development partners. The chairman of the Adamawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Suleiman Bashir, opens the event by explaining the cholera vaccination campaign in the state.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor, has given us all the needed support to mobilize and prepare and to activate all the emergency incident management system and all the coordinating pillars of the Public Health Emergency Operation Center. And the health system is really poised, and we are ready to deliver effective response, and we are doing that, and we want to assure the general public that they should be calm. If they see any case or suspected case, quickly present at the nearest health facility for appropriate review, diagnosis, or confirmation, and if need for referral, they will be managed.
A representative of the development partners praises the community's response.
We as partners will continue to collaborate fully with you, and even more, as you can see that the requirements for the response are coming more and more by the day. This wouldn't have been possible without the collaboration or the acceptance of our traditional leaders, who are also very many here, and you mothers. So the first praise or compliment goes to you, the people of Adamawa State.
While the district head of Jimeta, speaking in Hausa, advises mothers to follow preventive measures against the spread of cholera.
Na samu yara ƙananan guda uku suna wasa a guta, kuma iyayen suna gida ne ko sun fita ne ba sani ba.
The governor of Adamawa State, represented by the Commissioner of Health, emphasizes the government's commitment to controlling the cholera outbreak.
Governor has given all the support for us to ensure that this problem is brought to an end. And we are committed to just doing that so that we can deliver on its mandate to ensure that our society is cleansed of cholera outbreak in Adamawa State.
4 local government areas in Adamawa State have been affected by the recent cholera outbreak, resulting in the loss of 8 lives and many others being hospitalized. UNICEF provided about 200,000 cholera vaccines to help contain the spread of the disease.
And now we return to Taraba State, where the government says it is committed to transforming the developmental landscape through the utilization of its resources for the greater good of the citizenry. At an event to commission the remodeled and constructed government house named after retired General T.Y. Danjuma, the state government says it will ensure sustained efforts towards providing the dividends of democracy.
It's the commissioning of the remodeled Taraba State Government House and renaming after the former Defense Minister, General T.Y. Danjuma. The Chief of Staff, the Governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, serving and former National Assembly members, traditional rulers, and General T.Y. Danjuma, acting PDP National Chairman, Umar Damagun, Professor Jerry Gana, among several others, are on the ground to witness the occasion. The state government says the remodeling has become expedient as it is a renewed commitment to a prosperous state and a path to ensure dividends of democracy to all citizens.
This remodeled and constructed government house stands as a testament to the values of efficiency, innovation, and the forward thinking that our administration holds dear. It is not merely a structure, but a symbol of the stability, progress, unity we seek to maintain and promote in Taraba State.
The permanent secretary of the government house, who reeled out the history of the government house, revealed that the effort is a foresight for development, as it is the first of its kind since the creation of the state.
We cannot be able to enumerate what you mean to Taraba State, even Nigeria as a whole and Africa as a continent, in spite of the lean financial resources accruing to the state. Where we are praying and believing God that the governor who has come with a vision and a mandate to serve the people, and certainly God will make a way so that he will do more.
In the name of the Father, the Son, Amen, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The state governor, Agbu Kefes, General Theophilus Danjuma, and Governor Amadu Fintiri thereafter toured the ongoing construction site within the government house to have a first-hand information of the efforts made. Speakers at the occasion, shortly after arriving at another venue of the event, speak on the efforts of the governor to enhance food security, good governance, state master plan, diversification of the economy, infrastructural development, and combating illegal mining.
The governor KFAS Abu program in agriculture, as we have worked, will be centered on farmers' education with objective of converting Taraba state farmers into professional investors in agriculture, equipped with relevant knowledge, technology, and hard work.
The state government says more developmental plans will be unveiled in the coming days that will ensure that no stone is left unturned in its quest for rapid transformation of the state.
And that's it on the program. We'll be back again next week. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.